Ms. Stone. Again, my name is Detective Gardner. Here, let me get these cuffs off of you. Go ahead and lift your arms up. I know that can't be too comfortable. There we go. A little better? Okay. Is your voice okay? I noticed you were whispering.
It's just dry.
Just dry a little bit. Water will help a lot. You've been through a lot, haven't you? Words can't describe what you're dealing with. Okay. You need to understand something. I'm going to ask you some questions. We want to talk about some of the things that happened, okay? You good with that? Right. Do you remember your rights? You read your rights, you signed your waiver. You still willing to talk to me? Okay. So water good? All right. You sure you're not hungry?
No.
Because I can get you a bagel.
No, fine.
Okay. All right. Theresa, a lot of things have happened over the past few weeks. Past few months, that, I'm very sure that you probably had no idea what was going on. Right? Right. A lot of things happen. That's okay. You know what? You're dealing with a lot. If you need to cry, you cry. You don't hold it in. You just let it out. I expect you to cry. Okay? What are you feeling right now?
Scared.
Scared? What are you afraid of?
I miss my daughter.
I know you do. And you know what? Your daughter misses you. Your daughter misses you, Theresa. She's probably wondering what's going on with her mom. Where's my mom? I can't talk to her. I miss her. Are you afraid of anything else? Is there anything else that scares you? Anything bothering you at all? No, I know you had a lot of time to sit around and think. In that comfortable cell down there? Yeah, we know it's not very comfortable. Some of the things going through your mind with, how did I get here? How did all this happen to me? One moment I'm a loving wife and mother. You just got your insurance license, your agent's license. That opens a whole new world to you, Theresa. Your world is looking good. Things are moving for you and grooving. Everything's happening. The next moment, you're sitting in a jail cell. You know what I'd like to know? And I know you talked to Detective Rosemore quite a bit about a lot that went on. Can you walk me through what happened? Can you walk me through this? You know what? Because it's going to ease your mind a little bit. It's going to ease your mind a lot. It's going to ease the mind of your family, Randy's family. This investigation has been going on for a while. And we've uncovered a lot of information, Lisa. And you've been a great help. I really appreciate you being forthcoming with a lot of the information that you gave us. It's really good, really helpful for us. But I know there's some missing areas, there's some gaps there. And what we want to do now is fill those gaps in. So that when you walk out of this room, all the questions are answered. Yours and mine. Okay? You agree with me? Will that work for you? Okay. All right. So we're not here to hound you. You know that? We just want to get to the truth. We want to know what happened and why it happened.
I don't know why it happened.
You don't know why it happened? Why do you think it happened?
I guess because he was desperate.
He who?
David Love.
Was desperate for what?
Me. I mean, I knew he loved me, but I never expected you to do anything like this.
Did he ever talk about this? Did he talk about hurting your husband? Taking Randy's life?
A few times he did, yes.
During those times, where were you?
Probably in the car, talking to him on the phone.
You were in his car or you were in your car?
On mine.
You guys were on the cell phone? And you were talking about, how was the conversation?
Well, sorry.
It's okay, drink as much as you like.
Oh.
You okay?
Oh, I have something stuck in my throat.
It's kind of hard to look at that picture, isn't it? Now, you look at the face of that man, and you tell me this man had your best interest at heart. Can you tell me that? Can you honestly tell me that? That he had your best interest at heart in his actions? Who do you think he was trying to serve? Please.
Himself.
Himself. He didn't give one thought about Theresa Stone.
I know that now. All the stuff he told me.
The stuff he told you, like what?
That he loved me and that he would take care of me. I just don't understand.
Did you believe him?
Yeah.
Sure he did. You thought, this guy's a preacher, he leads a congregation. Sure, what he says has got to be true. He's speaking from the Bible. Man, you found out different, didn't you? Theresa, you know what? I know when we talk about you're not a bad person. You got involved in a bad situation. This is the bad guy here. And this guy's not doing you any favors at all. Not at all. We've talked to him. He's doing you no favors. And you thought he loved you? You thought he cared for you? Hopefully this guy's out of your life now. Is that okay for you?
Yes.
Theresa, some of the things that weren't clear during your interview, and we talked about this, some of the things that we just need to really narrow down. And I think and you have all the answers. Okay? Yeah, and I know you do. I know you do.
I want to do whatever I can.
Okay, well, walk me through it. Walk me through that day when Randy was shot. Normal work day?
Yes.
Okay.
We were having a good day.
Did you both arrive at the office at the same time?
No. We hardly ever did. Because I would take my daughter to school and then I would go into work. And he would come in anywhere between 9:30 and 10. Because he would stay home and work out.
What time did you go to the office?
I usually got there about 7:45 in the morning. I usually work from 7:45 to 3.
Okay. He got there a little later?
Yeah, he got there about 9:30.
Okay. Did you guys talk about much? What was going to go on that day? Anything different that you were going to do? Any plans you were going to make or had made?
No, I mean, I had a chiropractor appointment. Then I had to pick Rand up at 3. And I was supposed to take her home and come back to the office by 4:30 because we were going to work late. Mm-hmm. We had 2 people that were coming in at 5 and 6.
Who was that?
The person that was supposed to come in at 5 was, her name was Levita Brandon. She's a client of ours, mm-hmm. And she sells perfume and cologne, and I had ordered stuff from her. I'd ordered something from her, and so she was just going to bring it to me. We did have an appointment come in at 11. We wrote up a homeowner's policy.
So anything out of the ordinary?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Your conversations with Randy, what were they like?
They're fine. I mean, I was sitting on his lap a lot, you know, and kissing him like we always do. And we were talking about our vacation, our trip that we were getting ready to take. He had ordered some tickets for my son and his girlfriend to go to a concert in August. Mm. And he was just checking on concert tickets. We kind of looked at that together on the computer, and he said he was hungry, and I said, I hardly ever eat lunch, so I just really wasn't hungry. But he went to McDonald's about 12. Yeah, it was around 12:30. He went to McDonald's and came back, and we ate at his desk. And about that time, it was time for me to go to my appointment. I had a chiropractor appointment at 2. Mm-hmm. So, but I also had to go to the bank because I had to deposit our checks.
Which bank did you go to?
U.S. Bank.
Did you go to any of the banks that day at all?
Yeah, I went to the Bank of America on the square. That was about $4.40, something like that.
You make a deposit or withdrawal? Or
I made both of them were deposits.
Okay.
Bank of America was business, and U.S. Bank was personal. It was for our personal payroll.
Any other banks?
No.
Okay. So after you went to Bank of America, where'd you go?
I went to the office.
Okay. What time did you get there?
I got there about 10 till 5.
Okay. Explain to me what happened after that. What did you see?
Well, when I pulled up in front of the office, I thought something was a little strange because the blinds were closed. And he never closed the blinds unless it's getting dark outside if he's working late.
Randy never closed the blinds?
No. He never closes the blinds. So I thought that was a little strange. Then I thought, well, maybe our computer guy, Tony, showed up early and they went and got something to eat. But he always calls me and tells me what he's doing. We always call each other and tell each other what we're doing. Always. So he never called me. So when I walked up to the door, I unlocked the doorknob. I unlocked it, and I went to unlock the deadbolt, and it seemed really easy to unlock because it's not really that easy to unlock. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that it was not locked. So when I opened the door, I went into Randy's office, looking for him. I went in the back. I walked in my office. So I lined up.
When you saw him lying on the floor, what was your first thought?
I just kept yelling at him to wake up.
You knew something bad had happened, didn't you? You knew something bad had happened, and you knew who had done it. Yeah, you kind of had an idea. You know, like...
And why did I say something?
Yeah. Why didn't you?
I don't know.
How long had this been in the works?
I have no idea.
How long had you and David talked about this?
We haven't talked about any of this.
You didn't talk about this?
He always told me...
He who?
David.
Okay.
He always said that he could take care of our spouses if I wanted him to. And I kept saying, no, you're not doing anything.
So when he said take care of, what do you think that meant? Just say it.
Hurt him, I guess. I mean, what else would I think?
Hurt them, take their lives.
Yeah, that's what I kept telling him.
He talked about killing Randy, your husband, and his wife.
Yes.
Why would he do that? Why would he want to kill two people?
To have me, I guess.
To have you? He wanted you that badly?
I guess.
Okay. How about you? Did you want him?
No.
Did you want him that badly?
No.
You guys have been together for how long? You and David?
About 10 years.
Your relationship, your extramarital relationship with David lasted about 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
It got stronger as the years went on.
So it started off as what type of
Just
relationship?
like, close friends, good friends,
Then it grew to what?
Sexual.
Okay, now you say it got
lust.
stronger. Sexual lust, and it got stronger. Okay, what's stronger than that?
Love.
Love. So you guys fell in love.
Yeah.
Okay. For that 10-year period when you carried on the extramarital relationship with the minister of that church, David Love, you guys fell in love. And you started talking about getting rid of your spouses.
Well, I never talked about it.
But you listened to him.
I did.
And you entertained his ideas.
I kept telling him, I told him over and over and over and over and over again, David, you know this is not right. You cannot do this. This is not what God wants. You need to just leave it alone and leave it in God's hands. If God wants them out of our lives, He will take them out of our lives. I have tried, and he always told me that I was the stronger one. He always told me that I was the stronger one and that I was doing what was right. So if that's the case, he's supposed to be the pastor.
Right.
And I tried to break it off twice.
And why couldn't you break it off with him?
Because he wouldn't leave me alone.
He kept coming back?
He just kept calling me and texting me and texting me and calling me and calling me. And I just got tired of it.
You got tired of it and then what? Go ahead. Okay. You got tired of it?
He just kept making me feel bad.
Okay.
So
while you were in this temporary relationship with this guy, you guys are falling in love now. You're looking for ways to get rid of this guy.
I was not.
No. David Love.
Oh, yes.
Because what?
Because I didn't want to do it anymore.
You were done with him, right? You wanted him out of your life.
Because I loved my husband and I wanted to be with my husband only.
Okay. Did you tell your husband that?
What? That I wanted to be with him only?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. What did he say about that?
Who, him?
Yeah.
He kept telling me that my husband was a fool. And that he called him Nabal, which is a name of a guy in the Bible who did a lot of foolish things. You know, I know my husband wasn't perfect, and I know he did a lot of foolish things, but he was a very good man. And he put him down all the time, and I just kept saying, just leave him alone.
Yeah.
And
But
I'm sorry?
He wouldn't?
No. Every time we talked to him, he just kept throwing things back in his face. His past. He just kept throwing everything back in his face.
Well, Theresa, you said you love your husband, you want to get rid of this guy, get him out of your life. He wasn't having any part of it. He wouldn't let you go, would he? That's what I'm saying. You're not a bad person. You know, you got caught up in a bad situation with a bad guy and something bad happened. Your husband got killed. I even venture to say this guy was probably planning on killing his wife after he killed your husband. What do you think about this guy? Like I told you earlier, he's not doing you any favors. And I want you to answer one question for me right now. Right now, don't hesitate. I want you to answer one question for me. Did you know he was going to shoot your husband?
No.
Did you know he was going to kill Randy?
No.
Did you know he had an intention of going there to the business that night and shooting your husband dead?
No.
That solves his problem. He's on the way and now he's got you, and you're all he wants. Did you know he was going to do that?
No,
Did he tell you he was going to do that?
No, he did not.
Did he tell you he was going to shoot Randy that night?
No, he did not.
What did he tell you?
I never talked to him that day.
Did you talk to him at all the day before?
No.
You didn't talk to him the day before? You didn't talk to David Love the day before Randy got shot? Are you telling me no, you did not? Keep in mind, we have all your phone records.
Oh, I know, I understand.
Teresa.
I'm trying to think.
Teresa, you knew this guy was going to kill Randy.
No, I did not.
You did.
I did not.
You went to the business that night. He texted you, didn't he? Didn't he call you and tell you not to go there?
Yes, he did.
Why did he tell you that?
Because I thought they were in an argument or something.
Well, he said don't go. He didn't say don't come. He said don't come to the business. He said don't do the business.
He said don't go to the business alone.
What does that tell you?
And I ignored it. Because I didn't want to talk to him. I was mad at him. Because he has ruined my life. I texted him and told him that he ruined my life and to leave me alone. And he called me that day and left a message. I got the message. And he told me to call him, and I never called him. So he texted me and said, all I want is for you to be taken care of. All I want is for us to be together.
This is David?
Yes.
Okay. How did you reply?
I did not reply. I did not send him a reply. I did not text him. The only text that I remember
is what?
And this may be, I'm just going off my memory here, which right now is not very good.
I understand.
As you're telling me.
I understand.
The only text that I sent him that I can remember was, you have ruined my life, leave me alone.
What time did you send him that text?
I sent that when I was on my way to the chiropractor's office. And I can't tell you for sure what time that was. I know he sent me several texts. I know he called my cell phone. He called the other phone. He wouldn't leave me alone. He wanted to talk to me, but I didn't want to talk to him.
This is the man that writes this to you.
I know.
You're precious to my heart.
Mm-hmm. And you're telling me that he hasn't said anything.
No, I told you we've talked to him. And I told you he's not doing you any favors. But the one thing we need from you, Theresa, and I'm going to tell you, we need this from you. Okay? You say you're on board, you want to do anything you can do. Now's your chance to help not only your family, Randy's family, but to help yourself too. Okay? We know that David had Randy's gun. How did he get Randy's gun?
I have no idea.
Teresa.
I don't.
How could you not know?
I
You
don't.
know Randy better than anybody else. You know where he keeps everything.
The only thing that I can think of is that he went in our house while we were not at home and got in the safe and got the gun.
David Love has access to your house?
Yes.
When you're not at home?
We give him and we give Justin our garage door code to get in while we're on vacation, so they can mow our grass and take care of things. They're supposed to be men of God. We're supposed to be trusting them, right?
This man of God's been having sex with you for 10 years while he's married.
I know that. And believe me, I regret that. I do.
Do you trust this guy? He
No.
told you how he was going to kill his wife? Teresa, how did he get Randy's gun? He didn't take it from him.
I know that.
How did he get it?
I don't know.
Did Randy keep it in his suitcase?
In his briefcase?
Yeah, his briefcase.
Not that I know of. I hadn't seen that gun in his briefcase in a very long time.
When's the last time you saw it in his briefcase?
Sometime last year. Whenever he purchased that little handgun, that's the last time I saw it.
Where did he keep his .40 caliber?
Which one is that?
The Glock. Where did he keep the Glock?
Oh. Well, when he had it, he kept it.
45.
I'm sorry?
Where did he keep the Glock?
When he had it, he kept it in his briefcase. And when he got home, he would take it out of his briefcase and put it under his bed.
Okay, so you saw it in his briefcase?
Yes.
Recently?
No. This was last year, before he bought the handgun.
And you hadn't seen the...
I have not seen that Glock in a long time. And I am telling you the honest truth. I have not seen it. The last time that I remember seeing it was when Michael said that they cleaned him when he was home at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go in the room when they clean the guns because I don't like the guns.
Are you afraid of guns?
I just don't like them. I am. I have shot one time, and I don't like it. It scares me. It jerks me, and it scares me, and I don't like it.
When was the last time you shot one?
Whenever all of us were out at my parents' house, I don't even remember.
Kind of target shooting?
Yes, that's all we were doing. He even had my daughter shoot.
So you're pretty good?
No.
No?
I'm horrible.
Are you a typical woman?
I am.
You can't shoot a gun?
I cannot.
Okay.
And I'm being honest with you. I am trying to help you. I seriously am. Because I had nothing to do with this. I did not know he was going to kill my husband. I tried to talk him out of whatever he was as in his stupid mind.
So you knew he had something planned. You just told me he had something planned. And I think you knew that something was killing Randy. So you're trying to talk him out of it. Talking him out of it, did it do any good? What did you tell him?
Obviously not.
What did you tell him? Did you tell him to think about it? Don't do it?
Yes. I said, don't do it. I said, you know it's not right.
Sure.
I said, this is not what God wants. That's what I kept telling him. This is not what God wants. And I tried to tell him all the time. When I wanted to break it off, I said, this is not the way God wants it to be. If he wants us to be together, he will put us together. I kept telling him that all the time. And that's when he kept telling me that I was a strong one. Well, why wasn't he listening to me? I didn't know what else to do. I stopped answering his phone calls. I stopped texting him. And he wouldn't leave me alone.
You had done all you could do, hadn't you? You knew he was going to kill your husband, and there was nothing you can do about it. You could have called the police. You could have called Randy. Hey, Randy, this guy's nuts. He's on his way to hurt you. I don't know what's going to happen.
I didn't.
Why didn't you do that? You could have warned Randy. You could have warned your husband that somebody was out to get him.
I did not know what he was planning to do.
You knew what he was going to do because you just said you tried to talk him out of it.
Well, yes, but I didn't know he was going to do something like that.
What do you think he was going to do? Go slap him and walk away? What did you expect him to do, Theresa?
Well, because he's always a talker.
He's always a talker?
Yes.
Talks big?
He likes to talk to people.
About what kind of stuff?
Well, whatever their problems are. He's a counselor.
Oh, okay. So he's a talker. He gets in there and he can really convince people to do what he wants to do.
Yes, he can.
Do you think you were under his power? Under his spell?
I know I was.
You were?
And I hate it.
Yeah. He made you do things you wouldn't normally do, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he put you in a situation you couldn't say no. Because this guy is well trained. This guy is prolific in getting people to do what he wants them to do. He's a minister. How long has he been a minister at your church? 10, 12 years? Prior to that? Who knows? He's a counselor, preacher. He presides over funerals. This man presided over your husband's funeral. The same man that put a bullet in Randy's head sent him off to heaven. Can you imagine that?
No.
And what were you thinking about sitting out there in the audience knowing that this guy had shot your husband and he's standing up there presiding over his funeral? That had to make your stomach turn. Your stomach had to be turning. It was just knots.
I was sick.
You were.
I was.
But you couldn't tell anybody, could you?
I was scared.
Of what?
Of him.
You thought he was going to do the same thing to you?
I didn't know what he was going to do.
Did you think he was capable of hurting you?
I would think so, but now I don't know. Now I know he would.
Okay. Theresa, how did he get his hands on Randy's gun?
I don't know.
That's the question I need to have answered.
I don't know.
Why don't you know, Theresa?
I
Do you not want to tell me? Do you think it implicates you if you say, I made the gun available to him. I didn't know what he was going to do. I had no idea David was going to shoot Randy. I made sure he got the gun, though. But I didn't know what he was going to do. No, if that's the case, Theresa, that's okay. That's okay.
I never gave him the gun.
You didn't put the thought in this guy's head, did you? You don't
No.
You don't control this guy. He controls you. You didn't make him go in there and pull that trigger, but you provided him the means of doing it.
I did not give him the gun.
You gave him access to Randy's gun. The gun he used to kill Randy. You think he just went in your house and took Randy's gun? How does that sound? Come on, Theresa. How does that sound?
He had the combination to our safe. He could go in there any time and get it if he wanted to. And I guarantee you that's what he did.
Has he been in your house before without you there?
Without me there?
Yeah. Has he ever gone in your house when there's no one else there but him? When Randy wasn't there, or the kids weren't there, or you weren't there?
Yeah, he told me he did.
When
we were on vacation.
What did he go there for?
He just wanted to go in and he said he sat on my bed. He went through my drawers.
Because he's still in love with you.
Yes.
Right? He's just kind of trying to get as close as you as he can, no matter how he can.
That's why he told me.
And when was the last time he was in your house?
Just recently. The day after it happened.
So he was in your house the day after the shooting?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to that, when was he in your house?
Well, they haven't been at our house in a really long time.
How long?
He probably hasn't been at my house in probably, I would say 2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months.
Yes.
So, say 2 or 3 months ago, if he had taken Randy's gun 2 or 3 months ago, Randy would have known his gun was missing.
I would have thought, but Randy didn't go in the safe. We didn't get in the safe that much. We had nothing to get in the safe for. I mean, we kept all of our checkbooks and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy kept his rifles and stuff in there. Randy kept extra cash in there. We kept our homeowners papers in there, our life insurance papers in there, our social security cards.
He kept the gun in there?
He did. He kept all the guns in there, except for the one that he had under his bed.
Which one was that one?
I think it was the 9mm. Yeah. Because see, I haven't seen the Glock in a very long time. Because Randy told me he was going to sell it.
Did he tell you he was going to sell it too?
No, he did not. I even asked my dad, and my dad said that he even mentioned it to him that he was going to sell it. But I don't know.
So, Theresa, if you
The only thing...
The only thing what?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
The only thing I can think of is that he went in there and got it that day. That's the only thing I think of. Because I wasn't home, my daughter wasn't home, my parents weren't at my house.
So
because he had the combination to the safe.
And you gave it to him?
Well, I was down there one time with him when I was getting into it.
When you were getting into the safe?
Yeah.
So you gave him the combination to the safe?
Well, he watched me open it, so yeah, I guess I did.
He was standing right there while you were opening the safe?
Mm-hmm.
So you gave him the combination to the safe? Pretty much.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel?
I hate him.
What do you hate him for?
I hate him for everything.
For everything he's done to you?
For everything he's done to me and my family. Everything. All the people he's manipulated through our church. All the people he's hurt that I know of that he's hurt.
Theresa, if this hadn't happened to Randy, would you and David still be in a relationship?
No. No. Because as of the 17th of March, it was over between us. I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to see him.
What happened on the 17th of March?
That's the day he came in and started going off on us.
Came into your business?
Yes. And I know you know about that.
Yeah. He told Randy a lot of things that day about you.
Yeah.
Were you getting a good picture of who this guy was then? Or you really begin to see who he was, who David Love was?
Yeah, he was trying to ruin my life.
He was trying to ruin your life. You said, this guy told you that God wants you guys to be together, and you said if God wants us to be together, it'll happen. In his mind, maybe he's thinking that killing David was God's plan.
You mean killing Randy?
Killing Randy was God's plan. In his mind. You think he's thinking that?
I don't see how he could think that.
Well, you said that David talked to you a couple times about killing his own wife and described how he's going to do it. Break her neck, roll her car, make it look like an accident.
And then he would say, well, I need to get that on my mind because...
Oh, too late. He already put it out there. And you knew that. It's already out there. You can't pull it back now.
I just didn't.
You even told, I know in your statement you said that David Love talked about David in the Bible, killing people, and how God forgave him.
Mm-hmm. He always used that as an scapegoat.
And a scapegoat?
A cop-out. That it would be right for him to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I said. And that's when I kept telling him, that was in the Bible days. That is not right. This is not right. So you can't do this.
So you thought when he was talking about, hey, I can kill Randy and get away with it and God will forgive me because he wants us to be together. I think maybe he even convinced you of that. He convinced you that it was okay. It was God's mind, God's plan that if we get rid of Randy, we can be together. And this is God's plan and this is okay.
No, he never.
Did he convince you of that? Were you thinking that, well, maybe David's right. He's the minister.
No,
He's the pastor.
No.
I love him. He loves me.
But his love was stronger for me than my love was stronger for him.
Your love was strong enough for him to work up a plan for him to get rid of Randy. To entertain his thoughts and his plans of killing his wife.
And
that's how strong your love was for him. And then when he pulled it off, you're probably going to make, I can't believe he did this. I cannot believe this happened. You walk in there, you see your husband laying on the ground, blood coming out of his ear. You immediately knew that David had done it. I know you did.
I was so stupid for not calling the police and telling them.
Well, and you should have. But you know what? You can't go back and fix that.
No, I can't. Can I?
The only thing you can fix is from this moment on, telling the truth. Just being totally honest. Helping yourself.
I am.
Teresa, you're not being totally honest. Why are you holding it back?
I'm not
Why
holding
are you
back
holding
anything.
information that you know you want to just talk about? Are you waiting for a better time, a better opportunity?
What do you want me to say?
I want you to tell me how you and David planned to kill Randy.
I did not plan anything to kill my
How
husband.
you entertained David's thoughts and his rantings and ravings about taking your husband's life. You listened to him.
I never.
You probably sat there listening to him. I can't believe this guy is saying this about killing my husband.
That's what
you
did
said.
was listen.
You just listened.
And I kept telling him, I said, you cannot do this. This is not right.
Yeah. Did you ever say, well, if you want to do it, here's the time to do it?
No.
Here's the best place to do it?
Never.
Here's what you need to do it with?
No.
You never did.
No.
You never told him to
you
go
give
in
me
there
a
at a
stack
certain
of
time
Bibles
of
and I
day.
will swear.
A stack of Bibles. And
I
you will swear on
and
a stack
I
of
don't
Bibles.
swear.
You don't swear, but you'll swear on a stack of Bibles that you did not have anything to do with this guy planning your husband's death.
No, I did not.
And you think God's going to say, okay, you're right. Teresa, I know your heart.
Yes, he does.
You're forgiven for all these things that you've done. Is God going to tell you that?
God will forgive me, but God knows my heart, and he knows that I'm telling the truth.
You're exactly right. God does know your heart.
Yes, he does.
And who do you pray to?
I pray to God.
Who do you ask for forgiveness from?
God.
Who do you ask for repentance from?
God.
Who do you have faith in?
God.
Who did this guy say he prayed to?
The same God that I pray to.
You think? You think he did? Are you guys sharing the same God? Teresa.
I thought we were.
Teresa, I need for you to be honest with me.
I am being honest with you. I am pouring my heart out to
I think you think we're here to hurt you, and we're not.
No.
We're not.
I know that. I don't know how he got my husband's gun. I honestly do not know. That's why he told me at the scene that Randy sold it 3 months ago, and I didn't. didn't really think of what he was saying at the time because I was not thinking straight.
He told you that Randy sold the gun 3 months ago, or he told you to tell the police that Randy sold it?
He told me to tell the police that Randy sold his gun.
And why did you do that if you didn't know that to be a fact, a true fact?
I didn't know. I haven't seen the gun in a long time, so
So you took his word for it? The man who you say stole your husband's gun?
I knew that wasn't true.
Okay. So why'd you tell the police that?
I told the police what he told me.
You told the police what he told you to tell them?
Yes.
What he wanted them to hear?
Exactly.
And you're okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with that.
Don't you know by telling the police that you helped him cover up the murder of your husband?
I did not.
Theresa, you just did. When you told the police a lie, and you knew this guy was lying because you had no idea if he was telling the truth or not.
I don't know why I covered up for him.
Why did you do it?
Why did I cover up for him? I don't know.
Oh, man.
Because I'm stupid, that's why.
You're not stupid.
Yes,
like
I am.
You just made a mistake. You just made a bad choice and a bad decision. But you can turn those bad choices and decisions around right now by telling us the exact truth. This guy had Randy's gun.
I don't know how he got it.
How else would you have gotten it, Theresa?
I just told you.
I know what you told me. I know what you told me, Theresa.
I am honest. I am being honest with you. I am being dead honest with you.
If God was sitting right here in this chair right now, right this moment, and you said you had no idea how this man got your husband's gun,
I would look at him in the face and I would tell him exactly those same words.
and what's he going to say?
He's going to say, "You're right, Theresa."
Theresa, like, we're not trying to jam you up.
I know you're not. And
I'll tell you what.
I am trying to be honest with you.
I understand that.
And I cannot believe.
Come on. This is your chance, Theresa, to talk. Okay?
I don't touch guns. I don't like them.
You know what? You didn't have to touch it. Maybe you just moved it. Maybe you left it someplace.
No.
Maybe, hey, let me throw this at you. And I could be totally wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Randy brings his gun to work in that briefcase. Okay, you're in the briefcase because you want to take the gun out. You say, well, I'm looking for an Avon book or something. Randy, why would he have an Avon book in his briefcase? I don't know. Well, listen, hear me out. His gun's in there. You take it out. You take it outside. Maybe you lay it by the bush or you lay it somewhere in the front entryway where if someone happened to come into the room, they could find it. Or come to shoot Randy, they would know where to get the gun. This is just a theory. This is out of my own head. How real is that?
It is not real. At all.
Not at all.
No, it is a lie.
Well, what happened?
The gun was not in his briefcase. He had not carried that gun in his briefcase for a long time. Ever since he bought the small one, he stopped carrying the big one.
Was it too heavy?
He didn't like it because he couldn't carry it in his pocket. He wanted something that he could carry in his pant pocket or in his coat pocket. So he stopped carrying the big one and got him a little one. And I cannot tell you when he stopped carrying the big one. I haven't seen that Glock in a long time. The last time that I remember seeing it was at Christmas time when they were cleaning the guns on the bed, my son and my husband both. That's the last time I saw it. We were gone, and I can't even tell you when the last time Randy got into the safe.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot tell you that. I wish I could, but I can't. Because I don't know if the gun was in there or not. Because I don't touch them. The only gun that I remember seeing in the safe was the 9mm and his other shotguns. Because he told me he was going to sell that gun. So that's what I assumed he did. I assumed he sold it. And that is the honest to God truth. I am trying to help you. I am.
And I appreciate that. I really do.
I am trying to help you.
Because this is a tough time for you.
This man has ruined my life.
Because you're a victim here, too. You understand that? In some aspects, you're a victim of David.
And I'm an idiot.
Well, no. You keep saying yourself, you're an idiot. You're not an idiot.
Yes, I am.
No. You made some bad choices, and we all do. You made some mistakes, and we all do, Theresa. You do. This mistake cost your husband his life. Your life will go on. You know that?
No, Mom.
And your family, you guys will go on, and you'll do whatever you need to do in order to survive all this. I know you will. I know you will. Because you've got great faith, don't you?
I miss my husband
I know
really
you do.
bad.
And he didn't have to die. Randy died for nothing, man. Randy died needlessly. A good man. Loved his wife, loves his family, loved his church. But he encountered some situations in his church that he knew was not godly.
That's why we were trying to leave.
But you didn't.
He wouldn't let us.
How could he have that much control over a man and a woman in his household that he can not leave a church?
We did leave. We left and visited another church.
Okay.
And then that's when he came into our office and started throwing all this guilt stuff on my husband. He kept telling him that he had pride and that he was bringing up all of his past and all that stuff. And I kept asking him to leave. And he wouldn't leave.
Wouldn't leave.
No, he wouldn't.
He felt like telling Randy all the bad things that you've done in your
Yes.
life. And you took it. You just let him tell him. Just let him just say whatever you want to say. You had no defense for yourself at all?
I told Randy when he's mentioned something about Matt Bruner, I told him what happened.
Right.
I didn't tell him everything.
Would you have told him had that not come up?
Would I have told Randy?
Yeah. Would you have told Randy if David hadn't mentioned it?
Probably not. Because we were trying to start a new life. We were trying to move on from a different church. We were trying to put all of that stuff behind us and move on as a new family.
But you know, confession and repentance is key to your relationship with God.
I know.
But you were going to hold that in. You weren't going to confess that. And that was going to be a sin that was going to continue to eat at you. How would you survive that? You would have dealt with it, right? You would have dealt with it. You do. You do. And I know you're a godly woman.
Right now, I feel like...
Like what?
I feel like a piece of dirt on the floor.
Is that what God sees you as, a piece of dirt on the floor?
No, he
How does
sees me
God
as
see you?
his child.
He sees you as what?
His child.
He sees you as his child. It's the child he loved from the day she was born. Yes, the child that he loved before she was conceived. That's how God sees you. And you know that. And you know that for a fact. And even knowing that, Theresa, you sit here, you even know that. And you're still holding back.
I am not holding anything back. I promise you.
Theresa, have you confessed all this to God?
I have. What do you think I've been doing down there?
I don't know. I don't know.
I have been praying the whole time I've been in there.
Okay, and you know he knows your heart.
Yes,
And he
I
knows
know.
what happened. He knows the situation.
I know he knows. He knows everything.
And he knows how you planned this with David.
I did not plan anything with David Love. Never. I did not plan it. I did not want this to happen. This was not supposed to happen. God was supposed to be in control of this, not him.
God was not going to let Randy die, was he?
No, and I didn't want him to die.
So what did you want to happen?
I wanted to start over. That's what we were trying to do, start over our lives. But he would not leave me alone. He would not leave me alone.
So after this man killed your husband, you continued to talk to him.
He was at my house. What was I supposed to say?
You killed my husband, I'm calling the police.
I should.
Why didn't you?
I was scared.
Theresa, why didn't you?
I was scared. I didn't know what he would do.
You knew what he had done, and you thought he was going to maybe do the same thing to you.
I didn't know what he would do.
Theresa, I'll tell you what, I'm going to, like I said, we really want you to work through this and be honest with us.
I am.
I've got somebody I want you to talk to, okay? I've got somebody I really want you to talk to, somebody you know, somebody I know you trust. And I really hope that, you know, in your heart, deep down in your heart, and deep down in your soul, you're able to just come clean with all this stuff. And I know there's some things, I know you're saying you've told and you've talked, but there's still more. There's still more, Theresa.
No, there isn't.
Okay. Go ahead and drink some of your water, and I'll get you some Kleenex. I'll be right back. Hey, Theresa, I think you know this man.
Theresa.
David.
Things ain't good, Theresa. They're not good at all. Okay?
I did.
Listen to me, Theresa. Things are not good. And you're here today because you need to worry about you, Michael, and Miranda. That's what you're here to worry about today. Okay? You're not telling the whole truth. Listen to me, Theresa. There's more that you know that you have not told. It's time to tell it. Okay? If you don't, you're hurting yourself. This is not about anybody but you. You understand what I'm saying, Theresa?
I do.
I'm serious. We've known each other a long time.
I know.
Okay. This is about you, Theresa.
I know. I am trying to be honest.
Okay. You don't have to try to be, Theresa. You know more than...
I am being honest.
Theresa, you know more than you've told them.
No, I don't.
They know more than you're telling them.
Do you understand that, Theresa? We know a whole lot more than you've already mentioned. And you won't even talk about the things we already know you know.
Don't dig yourself into a hole.
What do you want me to say?
Walk us through the planning of Randy's death. How you and David talked about it.
We never talked about anything.
You did. Theresa, you talked about killing, you said it yourself. David would talk about killing Randy.
Yes, he talked about taking care of Randy and his wife. And I kept telling him, no, he cannot do this. This is not the way it's supposed to be.
But what he wants to know is step by step, word by word, what he said, what you said, what happened. What happened? Don't, you're talking general there. Be specific.
He told me that he could take care of it. He told me that he could free him and I both, is what he told me. And I kept telling him, I told him, I said, no, you're not.
Did you ever ask him how he would do it?
No.
Did you ever ask him how he could do it?
He never told me, well, he did tell me. He did tell me, he said one shot to the head and he would be gone.
One shot to the head, he'd be gone.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say after that? I
said, no, you're not going to shoot my husband.
Did he say one shot to the head and he'll be gone, but I don't have a gun? I don't have a weapon.
No.
And you said, I've got one.
No.
I can get one for you.
No, I
can put one in your hand.
No, I did not.
What did you say?
I never said anything.
What did you say?
He's the one that said he could get a gun. He's the one that said he could get one.
Did he tell you where he could get it from?
No, he did not. He never told me where he could get a gun. And I never told him anything. Because about guns. I don't like guns. I don't want anything to do with them. He's the one that told me he could get a gun.
He knew you had a gun in the safe.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What are you trying to tell me?
I told you earlier. He had a way to get into our house. Nobody was home.
So you thought he was talking about stealing Randy's gun and shooting Randy in the head?
I didn't know what he was thinking. But he knew Randy's guns were in there because Randy had taken him downstairs several times and showed him his guns.
And David was, of course, looking over your shoulder as you were getting into the safe, so he knew the combination to the safe.
Yes.
Therefore giving him access to Randy's guns. Which you well knew. You see this puzzle we're piecing together, Theresa? It's already been put together and torn apart and put together again. Now we're giving you an opportunity to put it together.
Opportunity for you to tell your side, the truth, because that's what people's going to hear. That's who's going to decide your future, is the truth. Anything less than that's not going to help you at all. Okay?
I did not.
Understand that. We're not saying that you did. That you just need to tell what you know from the beginning, step by step. That's what you have to say. And I'm not going to tell anybody. I haven't said anything to anybody about anything. I never will.
No.
It's for you. It's your time to tell what you know. It's not going to go away. It is not going to get any better. And the only thing that you can do is tell what you know step by step.
Theresa, this gun didn't just magically appear in his possession.
I did not give it to him. I did not give him no gun.
What are you thinking if you tell us that you did give him the gun? What do you think it's going to do to you? Is it going to make you look bad because you provided the weapon that he used?
If you are telling me that because if you want to say that he was downstairs, he watched me open the safe, he knew the combination of the safe, he knew where the gun was, if you're saying that that's the way that I
That much we know.
provided him the gun,
That much we know, Theresa.
then that is the only way.
And that's not the way I'm saying you provided him the gun, though.
I never gave him no gun. Never. I am telling the truth, David.
Okay.
I never gave him a gun.
Okay.
I never gave him any sign to do anything like this.
Go back to what you said earlier about him telling you specifically one shot in the head. How did that come about? When? Theresa,
He only mentioned it one time,
when?
just a couple of months ago.
What month?
I don't know.
Do you remember what was going on that time of year? You know, was it warm, cold, close to a holiday?
No.
Where you were at? What brought it up?
He always brought up the conversations. I never did.
Okay.
I always tried to discourage it and get off of it.
Okay.
I always did. I always told him. This is not the way it's supposed to be. This is not right.
Have you thought about you're saying that you just don't know how this happened as far as him getting the gun and stuff. Have you thought in your own mind, how do you think this happened? Has that crossed your mind since Randy's death?
I don't know. I don't know.
You've been through a lot. And you're going to be through a lot more.
I don't understand. I don't know why he would do it.
You said why you would do it.
Well, he did it because he wanted me.
There you go. Now,
But because I stopped talking to him.
you made a decision, right?
Yes.
And he made a decision also, didn't he?
He made a decision that if he couldn't have me, nobody could.
Okay? And that's why we're here today, is because people made decisions. And today's about a decision for you. And Theresa, the decision is, you gotta just lay your cards on the table the way it is, okay?
I am. I didn't give him the gun.
Again, did we say that you physically handed him the gun? Nobody said that. How did he obtain the gun?
I'm telling you, the only way he could have done it is just went in our house and took it out of the safe. He had the combination to the garage, he had the combination to the alarm code, and he had the combination to the safe. He had it all. He had everything. Because...
And how long has he had that?
probably when we went out of town to Argentina in December.
Prior to that, he never had that.
No. No. Because Randy was just having him, you know, take our mail in, our paper, and stuff like that.
And take it into your home? Or take it home to
No.
his home?
Take it in, lay it on the, kitchen table.
So you're saying the gun safe he got when you all went out of town on this trip?
I cannot tell you when he took it.
I'm saying the combination. We ain't talking about when the weapon's missing.
Yeah, he could have gone into it then.
Randy wouldn't have wouldn't have been aware that the gun was missing from whenever the trip was. Wasn't that around Christmas or Thanksgiving?
That was after Christmas.
After Christmas, so we're talking a couple months here. He wouldn't notice that it's missing.
But he just doesn't. Well, because they had already cleaned the guns before we left and put them back in the safe.
Who's they?
Michael and Randy. They cleaned the guns when Michael was home during Christmas, and then we left to go on our trip. But I never.
You know more than what you're saying, Theresa, and that's the whole point, is there's more information. And some of the things you said have not been the truth. You have not told the detectives, listen to me before you start talking, okay? I don't want you to justify yourself. You do not have to justify yourself to me, okay? I am not setting in judgment of you, Theresa. I am not in any way, shape, or form setting in judgment of you. What I'm telling you is we're talking about what happens from here forward and how that affects you. Because people have already made decisions. You made a decision. David Love made a decision. And this is why we're here today. It's for that reason. And so where we go from here doesn't affect me, Virgil. It affects you. It affects your children. Where do you want to go to from here?
He's making sense, Theresa. He's here to help you.
I know. And if you could just tell me where I am missing out. I am not remembering, I guess.
You're not remembering?
You're telling me I'm leaving stuff out. I don't understand.
Okay, let's back up to when David Love told you one shot to the head. Let's start there. During that conversation, you said, okay, all right, one shot to the head. That ends our problems. But then we have one more problem. We have his wife to deal with. He already told you had a plan for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Break her neck, put her in a car, make it look like a rollover accident.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then it's the two of you guys. Wherever we go, to the islands or Vegas or wherever you're going to go. Whatever your plan was, whatever God's plan was for you according to David.
I didn't have a plan.
Okay.
David had the plan.
David had a plan. And you were just kind of going along for the ride. And you didn't set all this up. But you know what? You were part of the plan because he told you about it. And you never even bothered to pick up the phone and say, go talk to your mom. David's talking crazy. You didn't do that. You kind of went along with his plan. You said earlier you said you're stupid. You're not stupid. You just made a bad choice, man. You understand that? Bad choices? You talk to your kids about bad choices and bad decisions. And you talk, once they make a mistake, what's the best thing for them to do? Confess it. Talk about it. Put it out there. Only way you're going to get healed or help is to talk about it. You're in that position. You're in that position that you put your kids in sometimes. Okay, Mom, I'll tell you the truth. And then what do? They tell you the truth, don't they? And what do? What do you do once they come clean with you? Once they're honest with you, what do? As a loving, caring mother, what do?
I try to tell them that that's what they should always do.
Yeah. Every day, with every choice that they make, put God first, like you said. Because God knows your heart. And we're sitting here, and Sergeant Ison has talked to you, and you've known him, you've called on him, you've talked to him a couple times. He's told you some things. He's told you things that could help you. And you're still holding on to that sin because you don't want to let it out. You don't want to say, okay, I knew he was going to kill my husband. This is what kind of plan, the way the plan went. I don't think I want to talk about that because it's going to make me look bad, like a bad person. Theresa, you planned this with this guy, David. He told you what he was going to do. And then he carried it out. He did it. He made you accessory to everything he did. You provided him with a gun. You told him what time would be the best time for him to go down there and shoot David. Yes, you did.
I did not.
You did. You told David, go there in the evening.
I did
There's not going to be anyone there. You make sure. But he said, no, I've got a funeral to do that day. I don't know if I can get it done.
I never said anything. I never talked to him that day.
You didn't talk to him that day at all? No phone calls, no phone messages, no texts, no voicemail?
He left me a voicemail, and I checked it. And I told you that's the same day that I texted him and told him to leave me alone. He has messed up my life.
He wasn't about to leave you alone because he cranked it up a notch, didn't he? He cranked it up a whole lot when he went in there and one shot to the head. That was his plan. He told you about it, and he did it. He executed your husband for no good reason, Theresa. And you're fully aware of it. And the next day he's at your house. And I asked you, why didn't you just pick up the phone and call the police? The man that killed my husband is standing right here in my living room. And you didn't do it because you're scared of him. Theresa, your husband's dead. Your husband was shot in the head in a business he built for him and you and your family. And you could care less about that.
No.
You could care less because you want to move on with your life.
That is not true.
Well, you tell me what's true, Theresa.
I did not expect him
What did you
to
expect?
kill my husband.
What did you expect, Theresa? Look at this man. Listen to what he's done to you over the past 10 years. What do you expect him to do?
I was trying to get him to leave me alone.
You didn't do a good job of it because he didn't leave you alone. If anything, he did something that's going to bring him closer to you. Eliminate the problem for him, which was your husband, Randy. And he did that.
I never asked him to kill my husband.
You may not have asked him to kill your husband,
I
Theresa.
never said anything to him about killing my husband.
But did you say, don't you do that?
I
You did
did.
not tell him not to
I
do
did
it.
too.
What'd you tell him?
I told him, don't you ever do that. I said, don't do that. I said, you're not, that is not right. You're not thinking straight.
What'd you tell him he should do then? What was the alternate plan?
I told him to let God deal with it.
Let God deal with it?
Yes.
How?
If God wants them out of our lives, He will take them out of our lives. I told him that over and over and over again. I don't know how many times I told him that.
And what did he tell you?
He said, you're the strong one. He said, yes, I got to get this out of my head.
He told you you're the strong one.
That's what he always told me. He said, you're the strong one.
Is that a position of power that he put you in, or is it a position of power that you earned?
I don't know.
He told you were the strong one. You told him if God wants those people out of our lives, if God wants your wife dead, He'll kill her. If God wants my husband dead, He'll kill him. And what's David hearing all this time? Go ahead and do it, David.
I never said that to him, ever.
Go ahead and do it, David. Kill Randy and we'll be together.
No.
What'd you tell him then?
Nothing. I didn't tell him to do anything.
In his mind, he's thinking, okay, David in the Bible did some killing and God forgave him. David in the Bible killed a man whose woman he wanted. He killed Uriah.
I know
You
that.
understand that?
Yes.
Who did he want? He wanted Uriah's wife. Guess what? Here's David, love, not in the Bible, killing a man because he wants his wife. And you're right along with the plan.
I was not along with that plan.
You didn't do anything to stop it.
I didn't know he was going to do it.
You had every reason to know he was going to do it, to suspect he was going to do it.
What?
He told you.
He did. He told me what he wanted to do.
He told
And
you
I
what he
told
wanted.
him, no, he
And then
is not doing
Did the
it.
conversation end there? Did you
Yes.
guys stop talking about
Yes.
it? Did you talk about it anymore?
No.
After that? No more?
No.
So what'd you talk about after that? Did you move on to something else?
I was trying to move on with my life. I was
Okay.
trying to get out of his life, and he would not leave me alone.
Well, you told me that. You told me he wouldn't leave you alone.
He would not leave me alone. He called me, he texted me, and I wouldn't answer. And that made him more mad.
And matter. Because he's closer to you now because he's eliminated the problem. He's eliminated your husband. He's got no reason to believe that you guys can't be together. Only one more person stands in the way. Thank God he got caught. Or his wife would probably be dying too. Do you ever think about that? Theresa, here's your opportunity. And that's why we brought David here to talk to you, so you'll know. You know the monster this guy is. You know the monster David Love is. And for some reason, I think you're still trying to protect him.
I am not protecting him. I did not know that he would go through with this. And that is true. I did not think he could do something like this. I never told him to take Randy out of my life. Never.
But you told him if God wanted him out of your life, he would do it.
That's right. In his timing.
In his timing,
In God's timing.
and in your mind and in his mind, it's okay to do it now.
It wasn't in my mind ever. I never.
It was in David's mind.
Well, it wasn't in my mind. And I told him that time and time again.
Did you do anything to take it out of his mind?
Yes, I kept telling him to stop thinking about it. Leave it alone.
Did you ever tell him that if Randy is dead, you and I are still not going to be together? Did you tell him that?
Yes, I told him that. I said, we are not going to be together until God puts us together.
And he's thinking, why are you leaving the door open? You're not closing the door, Theresa. That's a closed door. That's an open door. Every time you said, until God puts us together, that leaves the door open for him. Every time you don't kick his butt when he says, I'll shoot your husband in the head, that's leaving the door open for him. Every time you listen to his little weird plans, and you're entertaining him, you're just sitting there, the door's open for him. He's thinking, it's okay. She's not told me I can't do it or don't do it.
If I ever said anything against him, he would get mad at me.
Would he ever hit you?
No.
Okay.
He never hit me.
Did he yell at you? He's mad at you, so he's sitting there staring at you, so he's mad at you. What does he do to you? What does he do to you?
No.
What does he do that scares you so much, Theresa?
You're afraid of him, aren't you?
Yes.
And that's obvious.
And that's the only thing that's going to change. You're protecting yourself. You're making yourself safe today being here. It's time for you to make yourself safe.
This guy's a monster. He's a monster, Theresa. What he's done to you and your family is unforgivable. Help us put him away for life.
I am trying to help you put him away for life.
How did he get the gun?
I don't know.
What time did he go buy the business?
I don't know.
He called you.
I was already on the road.
Did he call you and tell you don't come here until a certain time?
No, he did not. He told me, he texted me and told me, he said, urgent, seriously, do not go to the office by yourself.
What car was he driving that day?
What car was he driving?
Yeah.
His car, I guess.
Which is what?
Silver Buick.
Did you see him in it?
When he came to the crime scene, yes. They told me he had a funeral, and they told me he was at the hospital. That's what they told me. That's all I know. I never talked to him that day except for listening to a message that he left on the cell phone. That's all. I texted him, he tried to call me and I wouldn't answer. I texted him and I told him, you're messing up my life, leave me alone. And I never talked to him anymore after that. He tried to call me several times. I think
Why should you go to the worry about going to the office alone? Who was you supposed to take with you?
I don't know. I was supposed to go to the office. We were supposed to be working late.
And if you all had this broken up relationship, why is it he coming to tell you at the crime scene what happened to the gun? Why was that important?
I don't know. I don't know, David. He had this all planned out and did not tell me anything about it.
But you probably surmise a few things. You probably have an idea why it happened.
I did not tell him
Did I
to
say
do
that?
anything.
Theresa, I didn't say anything what you said. I said you have a belief, an ideal, knowledge
I didn't.
of why it happened.
I didn't.
Didn't say that you told anybody. I said you have knowledge. Okay? Why would he tell you not to go there by yourself? Who were you supposed to go with? Was you supposed to go there at all?
Yes, I was supposed to go there.
Why?
Because I was working late with Randy. We had an appointment coming in at 5 and one at 6. I was supposed to go back to the office. Those were our plans that we talked about that day. Our appointments. We were supposed to start cleaning the office up and just get rid of stuff.
If you're afraid of him, why are you trying to protect him?
I am not protecting him at all. I want him out of my life. I just don't understand why he did it. Randy and I were trying to move on. We were trying to move on and get away from them for a while.
And you couldn't get away from
He came to the office that day. Randy emailed him. He sent him an email. And he never responded. So Randy decided that we were not going to go back. So we didn't.
What day?
We were not going to go back to church
You
on
said
the
that
following Sunday.
You emailed him on that day. What day?
I don't remember the email or when he sent it. I'm thinking it might have been the Friday before. He emailed him.
The Friday before Randy was killed?
Yeah. He emailed him everything that he felt about stuff. How he felt about the church and stuff like that. Randy and I were trying to move. I told Randy, I said, I will do whatever you want me to do. If you want to leave, we'll leave. I was ready to go.
Okay. But again, going back, gaps that are missing here is he told you, David Love told you about putting a bullet in Randy's head. That's what you told Virgil.
Yeah.
Okay?
He said
There's
that
a timeline when that happened. There's a time that he got into your house because you guys gave him access and he had the ability to get to the safe. Not saying what you did, we're saying what he did. That's what they're asking here, is what did he do that you know? That's what they're asking, and you're sidestepping most of these questions.
I don't know. I don't know when he did it. I don't know when he went in my house. I have no idea. I'm not home during the day. I work. I pick up my daughter at 3.
Things that he told you.
He didn't tell me anything specific. That was the end of our conversation that time. Because I told him I didn't want to talk about it anymore. This was stupid.
But again, you didn't say when that was. When was that? Compared to some. I know you don't know the exact date and time, but you know whether it's warm weather or cold weather. You know where you were at when this occurred. Close to a holiday, close to some other function that you can kind of remember.
No, it was just...
The rest of your life's dependent on it.
I know, David. I know that. It was just a couple of months ago. I can't tell you what day. I can't tell you what time. I can't give you any of that because I don't know. Because we talked on the phone so much, I don't know.
Theresa, what's your best friend's name?
Christina.
When was the last time you talked to her?
I saw her at my house yesterday.
Okay. Did you see her on the 19th? The day Randy was shot? I'm sorry, the 31st. Did you see her?
I don't know if I did or not. I honestly can't remember.
Don't remember. What's her phone number?
Her home number is...
How long have you guys been friends?
Well, we've known each other since high school.
Spent a lot of time together.
Well, just recently because they just joined our church again.
Oh, okay.
So.
Her and her husband?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't her husband Carl related to Randy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're cousins.
Cousin.
Yeah. If I knew when he was planning doing all this stuff, I would tell you.
I understand. They want to know what you know.
I'm telling you what I know. But I did not know he was going to do this.
He told you he was going to.
He told you he was going to do it and told you how he was going to do it. And it sounded like a workable plan to you. My question is, who was going to take his wife out? Was that going to be your job?
No.
I mean, he's taking a lot of responsibility on here.
I would never do anything like this.
And I don't doubt
Never.
that. I don't doubt that under the right normal conditions. But you were in a situation where you've been impressed by this guy for 10 years. This guy had a major influence in your life for the past 10 years. He pretty much owned you socially, sexually, physically, spiritually. He had a hold on you that we can only imagine. And that's got to be some tremendous pressure for you, Theresa. That's got to be. I can only imagine what it'd be like living under that kind of shadow. Doing things you wouldn't normally do. But I think in this situation, you allow something to happen that did you, when I asked you earlier about gun, you said you weren't really good with guns, but you shot out of your family's?
My parents' house.
Your parents' house? Okay. And it was Randy's gun that you shot?
I don't know which one it was. He just handed me one and said to shoot it.
Did you shoot all of his guns?
No. I only shot one gun one time.
Which one's that?
I think it was the 9mm. They asked me that last night.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was sometime last year. I don't know.
And that's the last time you fired a weapon?
That's the first time and the last time.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Now, here's the situation. Imagine this. For instance, say we brought in a polygraph machine and we set it up and set you up on it and asked you the question, when's the last time you fired a weapon? And you would answer...
Sometime last year.
Okay, sometime last year. Now, with that machine, would it indicate that you were being honest or dishonest? What do you think?
Honest.
Why?
Because that's the truth.
Okay. If I brought the machine in here again, and one of the questions was, did you know David was going to shoot Randy? And your answer would be yes or no.
It would be no.
It would be no. And how do you think that machine would indicate your truthfulness or your deceptiveness?
Truthfulness.
It would indicate that you're being truthful?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I brought the machine in here again and asked you if you loved Randy, and you would say...
Yes.
And the machine would indicate that you're being truthful or deceptive?
Truthful.
And you're sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. Would you be opposed to that? Would that be an issue for you?
No.
Would you be opposed to taking a polygraph test? I mean, it's entirely up to you. Because, I mean, there are a lot of questions Dave and I have been posing to you, and we're just curious about a lot of things. And you understand, we're not thinking you're just being forthcoming with us for whatever reason. And it could be that influence that David has over you. You yourself might not even be able to identify it. Theresa, you understand that? You may not know the power he has over you.
I'm telling you everything I know. I am being honest with you. I am.
Theresa, God knows your heart.
I know he does, and I am telling you.
And he knows what you did.
That is true.
Does he know what you did?
He knows what I did. I did not do anything. He knows that I had a relationship with David. He knows what we had talked about. And he knows my heart. And he knows what I tried to do.
And what did you try to do?
I tried to tell him to leave it alone.
And he wouldn't. What do you think should happen to David? What do you think should happen to David Love?
I don't know.
What do you want to happen to him?
I want him put away for life. He took my husband's life.
What do you want happen to you?
I want to come back to my family.
The only person that can do that is you. Nobody else, Theresa.
I am telling you the truth.
You're not telling all of the truth.
I am too.
Theresa.
I don't understand what you want from me. What else? I know I'm not missing anything. Please help me if I am. I want to know if I'm forgetting something, but I know I'm not. I never told him to do anything like this. I never told him to go into my house and get a gun and kill my husband. I never said anything like that. I told him no. No, I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want anything like this to happen. I was trying to get away from him. I wanted him to leave me alone so I could start fresh with my husband.
Right now is your time to start fresh.
I am telling you everything.
There's more.
Like what? Please.
Theresa, you're talking very general. You're not talking specific.
Pacific what? I don't know any Pacifics. I know no Pacifics. I don't know what was in his head. I don't know what he had planned. He never told me anything.
You want him to go away for the rest of his life for taking your husband's life, for taking Randy's life, and you said that he told you he was going to use a gun to put a bullet in Randy's head, and you just said that he went into your house and got that gun out of there. That's what you just said.
Well, that's the only thing I can figure, because I, from the bottom of my heart, the truth, I never, ever handed him any kind of weapon whatsoever.
I believe that. I believe that.
None.
I do. I believe she never actually handed David Love a weapon.
I never told him to go do anything like this.
You're talking about handing and knowing, you know.
I did not know he was going to do this. He talked about it, and then he would say, "No, I can't do that. That's not right." And I was like, "No, you're not doing that. That is not the way God wants it to be." And he would say that. He would say, "No, I can't do this. I can't think this way. That's not right." I mean, he would say that.
How many times did he say that?
Well, he only talked about the one time about shooting Randy in the head. He only said that one time.
And what did he say exactly again?
He said, "I can do it with one shot to the head."
I can do it with one shot to the head. He was talking about himself, saying, "I can do it with one shot to the head."
That's what he said.
He didn't say, "You can do it with one shot to the head."
No.
He said, "I can do it with one shot."
That's what he said. He said, "I can do it with one shot to the head." And I said, "No, you're not." I said, "You will leave him alone and you will stop thinking this stuff. This is not right.
That's good. That's good.
God is the one that is in control here, not you." I kept telling him that. "You are not in control. God is in control. Just leave it alone." I tried to tell him that over and over again. Every time he would say something he would tell me that his wife made him upset or something like that. I think he was trying to get me to say, "Well, what do you want me to do?" But I never would, because I'm not that type of person.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I need some water. I was just thinking about one thing, though. When I asked you, what do you want to see happen to David? You said, I don't know.
I want to see him put away for life. That's what I said.
I think if someone had just shot my wife in her head, and just walked into her business and pulled the trigger, shot her in the head.
Would I like to see him?
I'm thinking I would have been so pissed. That's just me. I want to see that's me. I would have been so mad. I would have known exactly what I want to happen to that person. I don't think I would have said, I don't know. Maybe, and I think you're still trying to cover up for it a little bit.
I am not.
Yeah.
I want him out of my life. I want him out of my life forever.
Okay. How's your water holding up? You good? You good? Yeah. We'll be right back, Theresa.
Why are you doing this to me?
Theresa, we've known each other a long time, and as I told you earlier, I'm not here to set in judgment of you. I do not set in judgment of you, and I will say nothing to nobody that we know about anything that you said or anything that I've learned. But I'm going to be very honest with you because you're not being completely honest. And the reason I say that, look, I'm not calling you a liar, but I know that you've been through a whole lot in your life, especially in the last 10 years. There's been a lot going on. But when you talk about things, you're very general in what you're talking about. And you say these overall things. But you talked to detectives last night, and you told them specifically what David Love told you that he did to your husband Randy.
At my house.
At your house?
Yes.
When and whoever else was there? Was there somebody else present?
In the room with me?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
He didn't want anybody in there.
Okay. Those are specific things you said, and you've not gone into detail, so you know.
Well, I didn't know he wanted me to tell him that. I thought he was talking about in the past.
The whole thing, Theresa. Like
I'll tell him what you told
me. Listen to me, okay? What you're doing is you're kind of going around the bend a little bit. You're not getting straight to where they're wanting to go. And like I told you earlier, this is about you, all about you, because the rest of your life depends on the truth. And it only comes from you. Okay? So you need to go back and be specific and talk about what he said, that he did, and why he did it. And here's what the problem lies with you. Where you have a problem is you said you wanted to get away from him because you're fearful. You wanted to end this relationship, go on with your own life. He's taken Randy's life. He's told you that he did it. He told you how he did it. And yet he's in your bedroom the day after it happened. Now, if somebody else sets in judgment of you, and mind you, it's not me, somebody else will set in judgment of you, what are they going to think? That you're not telling the whole truth. And so that's why it's time right now for you to tell everything you know. Not what he asked you, but everything that you know, okay? Do you see where I'm coming from here?
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. You had a conversation with David Love at your house.
And mind you, I didn't want him in my house.
We talked earlier. You knew what he had done when he was in your house. You choose not. Okay, that's then. Tell us about the conversation you had with David that night. The night after your husband was killed. In your house.
He sat down on my bed and he told me that he shot him.
Who told you that he shot who?
David told me that he had shot Randy.
Okay.
And that he didn't even look. He just pointed and shot. He said he had on gloves. And he took the gun and threw it 20 miles away.
Where?
I don't know, he didn't tell me. And I was so mad I didn't ask him.
Theresa, the night, who else was in that room?
No one.
You were in your bedroom?
He wouldn't let my son come in.
You were in your bedroom, all right? Who else was in that room?
Just him and I.
No one else?
No.
Who else was in the house?
There was a bunch of people in the house.
Name everybody that you know that was there.
A lot of people, huh?
Well, this wasn't in the evening time. It was during the day.
What time of day? Approximately.
Well, it was right around 11. It was right after he got done picking Michael up from the airport on that Thursday.
Okay.
So who all was in the house?
Well, it was Michael and Jesse and Justin.
Okay, let's go. Jesse who?
Oh, Michael's best friend.
Okay. And the next person?
Miranda.
Your daughter?
Uh-huh.
You said Justin. Who's Justin?
Justin, our youth pastor at church.
And what's his last name? Okay.
Miranda's boyfriend, Kyle.
Kyle one. Is it the other one's son? Justin's son?
No.
Different.
Different.
Okay.
My parents.
Anybody outside family or friends?
Oh my goodness.
How about Randy's family? Parents? Brother, sister, cousin?
No, they weren't there.
Okay.
Anybody outside of the immediate family there? Because what you're talking about, immediate family and church people. Is Mrs. Love there?
No.
Okay.
No, she was not there. Trying to think. I think Carl and Christina were there.
Who?
Carl and Christina.
Carl and Christina Holzkamp?
Uh-huh.
Any other church members?
People that weren't church members. Somebody outside that maybe you didn't know as well?
Neighbors?
No. Oh, goodness. I can't remember.
Okay.
So he's telling you
I can't.
that he did it. Is that the first time he told you that he done it? He shot Randy? How'd you feel when he first told you that?
I wanted him to die. I was so mad. I was sitting there praying the whole time he told me. I just wanted him out of my life. I was trying to get out of his.
Theresa, didn't you know before you guys went in your bedroom that you knew he was the one that shot Randy? Him telling you, was it just confirmation?
I don't know why he told me.
Yeah.
I didn't ask any questions. He just started talking.
He just say, I want you to know something, or I did it, it's done, we can move on to the next. What was his reasoning?
He didn't have any. He said, He kept saying he did it for me.
Right.
And I think I might have said, no, you didn't do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
You did it for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all I said. I'm just sure that's all I said.
Because you knew how badly he wanted you, and he was willing to go to any extreme to get you, all to himself. And him doing it and then telling you that he did it?
He did mention to me several times in the past, he said that he would kill for me. He said, I will do anything for you.
Now think about it. All these years and all these months that you guys have been talking about this, he's dropped. Well, no, not planning Randy's death, but just talking about the things. Listen to his mind. How his mind works. All the things he's been talking about, he would do for you.
That just started like within the last couple of months, when we were trying to slowly but surely get away from the church.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he started coming on strong.
Stronger.
Yeah.
Okay. Because after 9 or 10 years together, I mean, for him to really start coming on strong would be something really blatant, and something really noticeable. What day was this note written?
That was written not this past December, but the December before that.
December 2008?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I take it by these codes here, you guys are pretty hot and heavy. I mean, you were really into your relationship, you and David.
Yeah.
Okay. And did David mail you this letter? Did he hand it to you? Did you find it on your car on the windshield? How did you get it?
He would leave notes in the gym kitchen.
Is that you worked or volunteer there sometimes? So he left that in the gym kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
You would have had to know specifically where to go to get it, otherwise somebody else could have picked it up.
Well, he told me where it was at. He would leave me a message and tell me that he left a note for me.
Okay. Would you guys leave little notes around for each other? Things like that? Gifts?
He wrote me notes. I hardly ever wrote him anything.
Did you ever buy him anything? Well, we know he bought you gifts, but did you ever reciprocate? Did you buy him things?
Like for Valentine's Day, I would buy him a card or maybe a teddy bear or something.
Mm-hmm. Something rather innocuous. I mean, it wouldn't really stand out. It was where his wife would see, but something he would know was special from you.
I bought him a ring
Did he wear it?
when his wife wasn't around.
So when his wife wasn't around, was she out of town or something? Was she?
No, if she was ever out of town, he would wear it.
And he wore it, and you guys were kind of like, it's like you're married. You had a marriage relationship with this guy, David, for the most part, when your spouse and his spouse wasn't around.
You could say that.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like you were, and in this marriage relationship, you kind of acted out being married, just the two of you. Then all of a sudden, during the course of that, Randy and...
Well, he kept telling me what wonderful things we were going to do together for God. He kept telling me that
For
all
God?
the time. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He kept telling me that all the time.
And what were you thinking? Did it sound good to you? I mean, being a preacher's wife probably was appealing to you.
Because, and I know this sounds hypocritical, but I do love serving God. I do love doing things for Him. I enjoy serving Him. So, and He knew that, because He knew I had a servant's heart. And He knew that I would enjoy serving other people as His wife, as He would say.
How about you? Did you get the same enjoyment? I know you enjoyed serving, but just serving as a preacher's wife, did that appeal to you? It did. Yeah.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah. But you couldn't because you were already ready. You were married to Randy.
Right. He always told me Randy was holding me back.
Do you believe that?
Do I believe Randy was holding me back?
You did, didn't you?
Sometimes, because I enjoyed being at the church doing things, and Randy would kind of balk at it sometimes. And I wouldn't do it because, you know, Randy was my husband, so I would do what he wanted me to do.
Sure. How was it that you and David were able to carry on this quasi-marriage relationship for almost 10 years? You know, isn't that wild? I mean, that sounds like a weird question, but how was it? I mean, Randy didn't, I mean, he was there, he was at home, and so was David's wife and his family, and you guys are in the church and people have seen you, and you guys are kind of high profile.
I never made it obvious in the church.
You think people in the church knew about it?
No.
They didn't know?
No.
Okay.
His wife had some ideas. I know she did.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
By the way she approached you?
Not me, but him, because he was always around me.
Mm-hmm.
I never went around him. He always came around me.
Mm-hmm.
And he always wanted to be with me and around me, and
So he made it kind of obvious.
he did, yes, in many ways.
During that night when he told you that he shot Randy, and you said you continued to pray as he was talking to you, and he had gloves on, what did he do with those gloves?
He just told me he threw them away. He didn't tell me where. He just said he threw them away. And he didn't tell me where he tossed the gun.
Mm-hmm.
He just said it was 20 miles away.
That's his exact words?
That's what he said. The gun is 20 miles away from here. He didn't say east, west, north, south.
Did he say like he threw it in something, hid it under something?
No, he just said he just threw it away.
Okay, so he throws the gun away. So you guys, how much longer do you stay in your bedroom talking to him?
As soon as he told me all that stuff, I walked up and left. I went into the living room.
Where did he go? Where did David go?
I have no idea. I'm sure he was still at the house somewhere, but he wasn't around me.
Okay. When did you talk to him after that?
When did I talk to him again after that? Well, he kept coming over the house.
Do you know why?
Well, because he's a pastor.
Okay.
That's what he does to family members.
That's what he does to family members.
He was trying to be a pastor. You know.
Was he there to comfort you?
Well, I assume that's what he was trying to do.
Even though he just killed your husband?
He kept telling me everything was going to be fine. I believe he said that he asked me if I had confided in anyone about what he had done.
Okay.
And I said, no. He said, you know I'll go to jail. And I said, yes, you will. That was pretty much the end of that conversation.
That was it? Nothing more?
No, because there was a bunch of people around, so.
Did you guys get together, just you and him, after that?
No.
And talk?
Nope.
He hasn't come over when it was just you at the house?
Nope.
How about church on Sunday?
Nope.
He didn't pull you off to the side and talk to you about anything?
No, I haven't been back to church because I was gone the Sunday after this happened. I had to take my son and I took his girlfriend home.
Right.
So I was not there on that Sunday. Now he did try to call me on my cell phone that Sunday morning. And he did text me.
Sunday morning?
Mm-hmm.
Would it have been during a time where he would have been on the pulpit, where he would have been preaching?
Oh, no. This was like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, before church.
Yes. He did try to call me. And he texted me, and I'm trying to think of what he said in his texts.
Theresa, earlier you was talking about, he told you, he went through and told Virgil and I about how he come into the bedroom, told you what he had done, that he shot Randy, and then he wore gloves, and he threw this gun away.
Mm-hmm.
What gun was it that he used? I mean, what gun was this?
He told me it was the Glock.
What's a Glock? I mean,
He just said it was a Glock.
okay. Does he own a gun?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so
But
whose
I
gun
have no
was it?
idea. Well, I would assume that it was Randy's.
Okay, so he just said I shot him with a Glock?
He said he didn't say he shot him with anything. He just said, I shot him in the head. I just pulled the trigger and didn't even look. I just shot him.
Didn't even look.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay, and so then how does he come up with talking about being a Glock?
I don't know.
Because that's the gun that Randy owned?
And he knew Randy had one.
So when did he say that?
When did he say what?
That it was the Glock?
Well, that's when he told me the night that it happened at the crime scene. He told me to tell you guys that he, I don't remember what I said, that he sold the Glock 3 months ago.
Right. And what you did?
That's what he told me to say.
Okay. So we're not asking you, hey, what did you say earlier? What did he say to you? That's what the specific question is.
Well, he didn't specifically tell me any kind of gun. He just said I shot him in the head. I didn't look. I just pulled the trigger and closed my eyes. That's what he said.
Okay.
He didn't tell me what kind of gun it was or anything like that.
But he told you threw the Glock away.
He told me he threw the gun away. And I don't think he said Glock. I'm pretty sure he just said gun.
But specifically that night after it happened, you were all at an insurance company. He said, verbatim, what was it he said?
He said that tell them that Randy sold the Glock 3 months ago. So he knew what he was talking about as far as the gun. But he just didn't tell me when he was in the room with me. But he did that night of the shooting.
Okay. Did you have life insurance? Was there some life insurance?
Well, he had one group life policy with farmers, and the other is for the kids. So.
Okay, what's the group life insurance policy? What's that? Just something that he gets as being
something
an
that he
agent?
gets being with farmers.
And how much is that?
$100,000.
And who's the beneficiary?
Me.
And the one that was
For
children?
the kids, yeah.
Okay, that was on the children or on him, and
It was on him, and they were the beneficiaries.
And how much is that?
I think Robert told me it was a total of $500. So the kids would get half. Each one would get half of that, which was what, $275, I think.
500,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
they would get half of that.
Okay.
And they were named the beneficiaries,
Yes.
not you.
No, I was not.
That's kind of unusual. What usually you, especially with ones in school and the other ones in college, why were they the beneficiaries of a larger policy than you? Since you're the spouse.
You know, I have no idea.
Never said.
Nope. He changed it. My district manager told me that he changed it in 2005. That was at the time where Randy and I were taking a bunch of trips overseas together with farmers, and he wanted to make sure the kids were all taken care of if anything ever happened to him and I.
Sure.
So That's why he
So
did.
specifically in the past, prior to 2005, it was in your name, and then when...
I assume it was. I don't know. I never looked at the policy. I
Okay,
never
but
saw
you
the
said
policy.
somebody told you. What did they tell you?
Robert Davis told me that in 2005 that Randy had changed it over to that. So I assume I was until then, yes.
Okay. And had David Love been interested in that life insurance at all?
I never told him anything about it. Now, sometimes Randy would tell too much information that didn't need to be told.
To who?
To just a lot of people. He just talked, and I got on to him about that. Told him that, honey, people don't need to know everything about our lives. You know, don't.
Okay, what is it that he said that you're talking about specifically here? You're kind of talking in generalities again. What specifically did he say that you...
Well, like, you know, like personal things, like if I would go to.
Okay, but we're talking about the life insurance policy.
Oh. Well, I don't know if Randy ever told him about the life insurance policy or not. He always, I mean, he would tell people that that he always made sure that he had plenty of life insurance because when his dad passed away, he left his mom in a financial bind, and he didn't want to do that to our family if anything ever happened to him. Those were his exact words that he would always say. He would never give a specific amount or anything like that.
So it's just something he talked about.
That's just something that he talked about.
Okay. Did after this has happened and you all were talking in the bedroom, because obviously, you know, David Love has talked, you've talked several times, you told Virgil that you all have spoken several times since Randy's death. Did he ever ask about the life insurance?
No. Never said one word to me about the life insurance.
Never asked how much it was or who the beneficiaries
Nope.
were, or...
Nope.
But you said David was aware of the policies.
Yeah, he knew because Randy had, you know, like I said, you know, told him because that's what he did. He was a salesman. He tried to sell life insurance, and we had their insurance. So whenever we got their insurance, he would always just try to sell them life insurance, and he would always tell them that he always had plenty of life insurance on him.
So he sold the Love's life insurance policy also?
Well, he tried, but
They didn't have any life insurance through Farmers? Okay.
no.
Was there another policy that you had? Was there one for $800,000 that Randy had for his family?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Just $100,000 on him from the farmers, and the other $500,000 that you'd taken off?
Yeah.
So you didn't have any other, you weren't the beneficiary of any other policies?
No.
Were you aware of any other policies that he had?
Nope. He had everything with Farmers that I know of, and Robert Davis is the one that told me all that.
And who's Robert Davis?
He's our district manager because he, you know, he has access to all that stuff.
Okay.
No way that David Love ever asked for any of it for the church or for...
He never mentioned anything to me about any life insurance. Money,
You guys didn't talk about money much?
no.
Where are they getting the money to build that big church farther?
Well, it's like I told them last night, he'll have like $1,000 club or $2,000 clubs, or so many people give. If he could get so many people to give $10,000, you know, towards, which we've never done that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's asking a lot.
Yes, it is.
They've had that property for a lot of years. Where's all that money at for that property?
Well, we're still paying on it.
So the property's not paid off?
Nope.
Do you know how much is owed on it or anything?
I do not. I honestly do not know.
Well, you know, David wants to walk away from this thing clean as a whistle.
I'm sure he does.
And he's got no problems leaving you holding the bag. You're sure of that too, right?
He's not saying anything, is he?
Well, we can't really tell you what.
I know.
But you gave him a good piece of advice last night. I telling him that you talked and kind of opened his eyes. And that's good. Appreciate you doing that. All right, Theresa.
Somebody's going to sit in judgment someday, and they're going to look at everything that everyone talked about. And if you were somebody on the outside looking and you found that no and your long-term relationship, how are they going to feel that you were involved in this? If you were somebody looking on the outside looking in, what would you think? They'd think that you were involved, wouldn't they? That you hold as much responsibility as he does, don't they?
When's your birthday, Theresa?
December 6th.
It's kind of a birthday note. You are the center of my world. Do you believe that? You're the center of David's world?
Sure.
You know, you can't control what he does or where he puts you in his mind. But you can control what he lets you be a part of. And he made you an integral part of this whole thing. Theresa, one of the things that I know we didn't talk about today, and I think you talked to the detectives last night about, was that the night you confronted or were confronted by Dave Love's wife, did you guys?
The day at the office?
Yeah. Was that St. Patrick's Day?
Mm-hmm.
Did she make any threats to you that night?
No, she came in and she said, "I'm not here as a pastor's wife, I'm here as a friend." And then I told her, I said, "You don't know what it's like to be a pastor's wife," which
Right.
I apologized to her about.
But you did tell her that, because you were the pastor's wife.
No.
You were more of a wife to him than she was.
Well, that's
Right.
what he told me.
That's what he told you, and that's what you believed.
And she walked out.
She didn't say anything else?
Huh?
Okay. She didn't call you?
No.
What did Randy say?
He asked why she came in and why she was so mad when she walked out. That's all he asked.
Randy's a smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
He put it together. He knew what was up.
With David and I?
Don't think so? You said you don't think anybody in the church knew about it.
I mean, I don't think so.
You said she knew.
Yeah, she had an idea.
You don't think David had an idea?
I don't think David had an idea?
Yeah.
About what?
About you and Randy, you about you and David.
Well, at one time, he questioned me about it. And of course I denied it.
He was curious. He felt something. Men feel that stuff, just like women. If he was having an affair, if Randy was having an affair, don't you think you would know? You would have picked up on it?
Oh yeah, I confronted him several times.
Yeah. Did he ever confront you other than that one time?
No.
Why do you think that was? He just wanted to make it all go away? Wish it never happened?
Did he?
Yeah.
I honestly can't tell you.
You don't know. You wouldn't. Unless you're in his head, you won't
I don't
know.
know.
But he was aware. He knew what went on. So based on the information that you've provided so far, and the statements that you've made regarding your knowledge of David and what his plans were, do you think you could have done anything to change that? What could you have done to change the outcome, Theresa?
Well, I was trying to get away from him.
Okay. I know you said, well, what could you have done to change the outcome? Once you knew exactly what David was going to do, what could you have done? What should you have done?
Oh, I wanted it to be over. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to end it, is what I was trying to do. And I was.
I know you say that, but I don't think you wanted to end it. I don't think you wanted to end it with David.
Yeah,
I think if you did, you would have done it a long time ago.
Well, I tried a few times. But when he came in and started accusing my husband of a bunch of stuff, that really...
Accusing your husband of what?
Well, he wasn't really accusing him. He was just saying that he had a lot of pride and that he was... Maybe the reason why we were leaving is because he was upset with the bus, you know, because someone had taken over his bus, which he was thrilled to death that these people had taken over the bus.
Randy was?
Yes. He was excited that they were taking over the bus. Pastor just didn't like it because Randy always disagreed, not always, but sometimes disagreed with the finances.
Because Randy knew something was amiss.
Yeah, he didn't like everything that went on, no.
Right, he may not have known what, but he just didn't know.
Right. And he emailed one of the deacons, and the deacons asked Pastor about it, and Randy didn't like the idea of Pastor responding to his email instead of the deacon responding to his email.
You call him Pastor. You've always called him Pastor?
Yeah.
What about when you're, you know, when it's just the two of you, when you're married and you're...
When we're together?
Yeah. What do you
I'd
call him?
call him David.
Call him David.
Mm-hmm.
What does he call you?
Theresa.
Does he ever call
My
you?
wife.
My wife.
Mhm.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what he calls you. Because in his mind, you were his wife. You just had to get rid of your husband. So Theresa, I'll ask you again. Kind of like beating a dead horse, isn't it? I'll ask you again. I'm not saying you put the gun in David's hand. You know, I'm not asking you that. I'm not even saying that. But I am saying that you provided a means for him to get the gun. You made it readily available to him, Theresa. Is that an issue for you? Is that a concern for you? Considering the outcome? Yeah. I know. You made it available to him, and then afterwards he told you what he'd done. And he probably told you, I've got to get rid of this gun. I've got to throw it away. And he told you he took it 20 miles away and threw it away. All this time you're along for the ride with him. Wherever David's going with this, you're going too, and you're just okay with it. You see the problem that you can see there, Theresa? And I know you're saying, you know, don't call yourself stupid again, because you're not. You got caught up. But a situation prevails and presents itself to you to get out, and you didn't get out. You didn't try to get some help after you knew what had happened. See, that's the problem. That's what people are looking at.
I understand.
That's what people are going to continue to look at.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you need to say or can do to clear any of that up?
All I can tell you is that he told me not to tell the police that he would go to prison.
You didn't want him to go to prison. Because in prison, you'd be safe. He wouldn't be a threat to you anymore. But you didn't want him to go to prison. Okay.
Yeah, I really did.
But
I just made the wrong choice.
Theresa, if we hadn't come to you, would you have ever come to us?
Yes.
When? When were you going to do it? If all of our evidence hadn't led us to you, would you have come and found us and said, hey, I got, because you know about confession. You talked about it earlier. Confession is good for the soul. Repentance. God forgives those who ask for forgiveness. I think you would have walked around with this forever.
It actually hit me Monday night. And I was actually planning on coming up here anyway on Tuesday.
Last Tuesday?
No, yesterday.
But,
And then the detective called me up here.
so you were coming anyway.
I was going to come, yes.
But you were supposed to come earlier yesterday. Remember? You were supposed to come maybe early afternoon, late morning. And you called to reschedule. You said you couldn't get here until like 6.
Well, he told me that he had several meetings that he had to go to, and I had an appointment at 10, I had an appointment at 11, and I had an appointment at 1.
So you couldn't have made it late afternoon.
And I had to pick my
morning?
daughter up from school, so I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to call him to come in earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't call me back. He was in a meeting.
Okay.
So,
But you were going to come up Tuesday night on your own?
I was going to come up Tuesday. After I got done with all my appointments, I was going to come up.
You could have just come out. Anyone would have been able to talk to you.
I know. I know. And I don't know what to say. I was stupid
There you go again.
because I just
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You,
I know I should have done it sooner.
Yeah. Okay. You need water, bathroom?
I'm fine.
You good? Okay. You hungry?
No,
Bagel?
no.
Sure. I'll be right back with you. Hey, looks like you've been thinking. Looks like you've got a lot on your mind.
I'm just tired.
You are, you're wiped out, aren't you? One question for you about this note here. Who tore it up?
I did.
You did?
Mhm.
When'd you tear it up?
Probably a couple days before Randy was killed. I was making a dentist appointment for Miranda,
Mm-hmm.
and I was getting my card out, and
Out of your purse?
I have a little change purse thingy, and I found it in there.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot it was in there.
Why'd you keep it? I mean, if you say he wrote this note in December of 2008, yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
You know, nothing over a year.
Well, I forgot it was in there because that's probably where I put it when I first got it, and I just forgot it was in there because I have all my credit cards in there, and it's just kind of smashed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so little that I didn't, I forgot it was in there, honestly. I mean, I never kept any of his notes. That's why I forgot it was in there, and so I just wanted to get rid of it.
Did he write you lots of notes?
Not a lot, maybe once a week, maybe
Yeah, that's a lot.
on Sunday.
That's a lot of notes.
Yeah, he wrote me a lot of notes.
Wow. Were they all kind of like that? I love you. You're the center of my world. I want to be with you. I
Yeah.
need you. I miss you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Would you
Yeah.
keep them?
Huh?
Would you keep them?
Would I?
Mm-hmm.
Or
You
did
kept
I?
this one. Would you keep any others?
No, I don't have any more.
You don't have any other notes from him in your house? Okay.
Not that I can. They asked me that last night, and not that I can remember.
Are there going to be any notes from you in his house?
No.
Would he have any notes from you in his wallet or in his car, in his person, on his person? In his Bible and his favorite books? Books that only he reads? Would he keep notes from you there?
That I can tell you.
Okay. How many notes have you written him? If he wrote you once a week, how many times did you write him?
Hardly ever. Because I'm not.
You don't communicate that way, huh?
No. No, he did this.
It's
he
all him?
wrote the notes and he put all this stuff down here. He thought that was, he said it may be
all these
silly.
little codes?
Yeah, he said it may be silly, but it means a lot to me or something. And half of them I don't even know what they mean.
Did he explain them to you?
Well, he did. A long time ago, he left me a message about what each one meant, but I couldn't tell you what they are now.
Okay.
I know what this means, and I know what that means. HP means honeymoon in Paris. I guess that's where he thought he was going to take me. Marry me, Theresa. This one's kind of funny.
You laughed.
I'm sorry. It's get big. Yeah. I don't know where he came up with all this stuff. I really don't. And this is lick your pussy.
L-Y-P?
L-Y-P.
Okay.
I don't know what the rest of those mean. They asked me last night and
You don't know what this one is? You can hardly tell that one.
it's A-I-E. And I honestly, I tried to rack my brain last night to tell tell them, and I cannot for the life of me.
Okay. But you tore this up a couple of days before Randy was shot?
Yeah, because that's
You
when I
just
found it.
Where'd you put it?
I just put it in my trash can.
Okay.
I mean.
Were you mad? Were you mad at Dave? Is that what you
I
told
was
him?
just trying to get everything out of my life.
Because you carried it around for a long time.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I forgot it was in there. Honestly, I did. I forgot it was in there. Because I had to take everything out, and I was trying to find my card, and I was like, oh my gosh. Forgot I had that thing. So, yeah, I just tore it up through the trash.
Okay. Do you have any other notes from him?
No. Not that I know of.
Nothing?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I mean, if I was allowed to go home, I would be happy to look for you.
No, I know you would. Would you put them in books? Because, guys come, I think preachers maybe stick things that are important to them in Bibles or biblical readings.
I do have a book and I do have a Bible that I read. I mean, if I had them, they would be in there, but I read my Bible every day.
Right.
And I don't
That's good.
think it's in there. I'm just positive. I know it's not in there. I don't think I have any more. I'm just being honest with you.
Okay.
I don't.
You said he writes down a lot of things? He does a lot of writing. Does he write down plans and the things he's planning to do or wants to do, or his dream list or wish list, or if I could list? If he did, where would he put it? Where would he have that kind of stuff? That'll help us get a better handle on him.
Sure.
What his plans were. And he may have written everything down that he told you.
I don't know.
If he's talking this stuff every day for years or months, and then he all of a sudden he does it, I'm sure he wrote it down someplace.
Well, I know he did mention to me that he does have a book that he marks in whenever we meet or whenever we talk or something, but I can't honestly tell you where it's at.
What kind of book is it?
I don't know what kind of book it is. I don't know if it's a journal or if it's an actual reading book that he just marks in. I don't know. He never did tell me. He just said he has a book that he keeps markings in. That's all he said.
Does he keep it at church, or does he keep it at
I think it's in his office.
his office at church or at home?
No, I don't think he has an office at home.
He doesn't? Most preachers do, or pastors do.
No, I think not in this house. They don't. Yeah, because they're actually buying his parents' house that they live in right now.
Mm. Where are his parents?
In Georgia.
So he has a book or something he writes in or he marks in, but you don't know where it is, and maybe in his church office.
I know it's in his church office.
Okay.
Because he told me.
What kind of book is it? I know you don't know what kind of book it is.
I'm
What does
sorry.
it look like? Is it a big book, little book, paperback, hardback? Don't know.
I can't tell you that. I'm sorry. I've never seen it. He has just told me about it.
What's he passionate about? What does he do? What is his reading like?
What is his reading?
Yeah, what does he like
He
to
loves
read?
history.
History books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he loves history.
Well, that may help us to locate some more letters that he's.
I'm sorry?
That may help us locate more letters that he's written that you never. He may have written letters he never gave to you.
I don't know. That I couldn't tell you either.
He may have written down plans to what he's going to do to
That
Randy and to his wife.
That
he
I
never
couldn't
shared
tell
with
you
you.
either.
Yeah.
I could not tell you
But
that.
by the fact that he's a writer, can help us. Gives us something else to look for.
Yeah. I'd be happy to look.
Okay.
I really would.
Well, hopefully you'll have the opportunity. Appreciate that. Talking about the house and David in your house,
Mm-hmm.
how would he get access to your house? I know we talked about that, kind of touched on it, but who gave him the codes to get in your garage?
Well, Randy's given him the codes because when we go on vacation, they would bring paper and they would bring our paper and our mail in
Mm-hmm.
to watch it, to take care of it for us while we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
He did that a lot he asked them to do it, and he asked.
So Randy asked the Loves to do it?
Yeah. He would mention it to them, and he would ask them if they would, and then he would, if they weren't available, he would ask Justin, to keep an eye on things around the house. My parents would sometimes too if they weren't out of town.
So they all had access to your house when you were gone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, you felt like you can trust him.
Oh,
So
sure.
what are we, supposed to?
I wouldn't think Randy would trust this guy. I really wouldn't think Randy would trust David.
Well, him and David were really good friends at one time. Believe it or not, they were really close. We used to go over their house a lot and play games and have dinner. They used to come over our house a lot and play games. And
Wasn't
have
that odd for
dinner.
you though? I mean, wasn't that odd feeling?
Yeah, it was.
How'd you do it? How'd you get through it? You just get used to it after a while?
I just hung to Randy closer. Seriously. I was just closer to him when he was over the house. And he was closer to Kim. I mean, that's how he would be all over her when he was at our house. So that's just it was hard for me to talk to him, have a kind of I tried to have a normal conversation with him, but it was kind of hard sometimes. It wasn't hard for him. It really wasn't. It was easy for him.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
It was really easy for him. But it was really hard for me.
Is that when you think Kim may start suspecting something?
No. She didn't really suspect anything until just recently.
Recently, was that when she saw, go ahead,
When she what?
when she saw a ring?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about the ring.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Sore subject?
No, because I never asked you to buy it, and I didn't want it.
But you took it, and you wore it.
Yes, I did. He gave it to me in the Walmart store.
Is that where you got it from?
No, he got it from K Jewelers, but he gave it to me in the Walmart store, and I didn't want to take it. But Miranda came up behind me at the time, so I didn't have a choice but to take it because he was holding it out there right in front of me.
So you just happened to run into him in Walmart?
Yeah, Miranda and I were there. Miranda and I were there just doing some shopping. And I'm walking down this aisle, next thing I know, here he is. And he's like, "Here, I bought something for you." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Here, put this on." He's like, "This is my promise ring to you, or my engagement ring to you, or something." I'm like, "What did you do?" He said, I told him, I said, "I don't want that. I don't want to take that." He's like, "Yes, just take it. Just take it." And I didn't have a choice. Miranda was right behind me. I had to grab it quick.
What was it in? How'd he hand it to you?
He just handed it to me. Just the ring.
No
Wasn't the
box?
box, just the ring. And
Wow.
I only wore it that one time.
Obviously, once was enough.
Yeah, I know. Go figure.
So what happened?
Well, he told me well, after she found out about the ring,
Mm-hmm.
they called my cell phone, I don't know how many times, from like 1 o'clock on to 7 o'clock that next morning.
They?
Well, he called once to let me know that she had
Kim
found
knows
out
about the ring.
Yeah, she found out about the ring and stuff, and he was leaving me messages. He just kept calling me. He must have called me 8 times. I think I had 8 missed calls, 8 voicemails. He called me. Took me forever to check them, but he kept calling me and oh, I don't even remember what he said. Half of them I deleted because I was just like, okay. The only one that I know of that I can remember is that they wanted to meet me. She wanted to meet me at my office that morning to get
Kim
the
wanted to
ring.
meet you at the office?
Mm-hmm.
What day was that? Do you know?
That was the 17th. That was St. Patty's Day.
Okay.
So.
Were you ready for that?
No, not
You
really.
knew all hell was about to break loose, didn't you?
Yeah. So, and I had even told him just recently after he gave me the ring, I was just like, you know, I really don't want this. You need to take this back. I don't want this, you know. And I tried to get him to take it back, and he wouldn't do it. He would not take it back. And I tried. I should have just taken it up to the church and set it in front of his office. But I didn't. I just left it in my drawer box. So, but she came in my office and she asked for the ring, and David already had the ring, so she grabbed it and left.
What'd she say?
No, she didn't say anything. She just said, I'm coming in here to get the ring.
Is that when you told her she wasn't much of a preacher's wife?
Yeah.
Did you tell her you were more of a preacher's wife than she was?
No, I didn't tell her that. Kim and I have had our differences, but I love her to death.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. She's a very special lady, and I love her. And she sure doesn't deserve who she's married to. But we, you know, we talked. We had a great talk, and you know, got everything.
You and Kim?
Got everything straightened out, and.
So are you guys good now?
Well, we were.
Well, she doesn't know you were sleeping with her husband for the past 10 years, though. She probably thought it was just a fling. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Because people in church didn't know about what was going on with you and David, right?
Well, they told me last night that she was going to know.
She was gonna know?
Yeah.
I thought she already knew.
No, not about him and I. Well, she knew about him and I talking and stuff, but she didn't know about us having sex or anything.
So this is kind of all new to her.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's killing her, and I don't have the words to say. Sorry is not enough. Seriously.
Man, that's tough. That is tough.
Is Rose Warren working today?
Mm-hmm.
Is he?
Yeah, he'll be back in later on this evening. So there's a lot more to do on this case.
I guess I'll still be here.
Looks that way. Looks that way. Is there anything else you can share or shed to kind of help us make a determination with you in some way, shape, form of action?
I told you everything I know. I told you everything that I know.
All right. When David was at your house that night, when he told you about the shooting?
That next day, yeah.
He told you he was taking the gun 20 miles away?
That's what he told me.
He was going to take it? Did he tell you where?
No, he said he took it 20 miles away.
He didn't tell you where? What
No,
direction?
he did not.
North, south, east, west?
Nope.
Who do you know that he knows that lives 20 miles away?
Well, I was sitting here thinking when you were out earlier, and well, he was obviously he was on his way to the hospital.
Yeah, so you think he dumped it somewhere around?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that I'm asking you. I don't know where the hospital is at, so I have no idea. I don't know anything about where he went as far as the hospital. I don't know the name of the hospital. I don't know anything. So I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm just running that through my head. And that's probably what he did when he was going that direction. Because someone told me, I think Mrs. Love told me when we were there at the crime scene that he had to go like an hour away for the hospital. That's what
Was he going to see someone in the hospital?
Yeah, he was going to see a church member of ours.
Which one?
His name is Richard. His parents used to be members of our church. Don't ask me what his parents' names are because I can't remember.
Richard Hawes. He sounds familiar.
I used to go to school with him a long time ago.
Really?
Oh yeah. He's a pretty big guy. I don't know what he looks like now. I haven't seen him in probably 10, 15 years. But, I mean, I just overheard them, saying the conversation when they were talking to him on the phone that he was an hour away.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. That just may be something for you to check out.
When
That's
was
just
this
what I heard him
conversation?
say.
When was he supposed to have been an hour away? Was that the day after?
That day.
That day?
No, that day.
Before he came to your house? Or after he came to your house?
No, this is the day that Randy was shot.
Well, he was doing a funeral, right?
His funeral was at 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then you said he went somewhere, he went to a hospital after that?
Well, about 5 o'clock, he was on his way back from the hospital. But they said that the hospital was about an hour away. That's what they said. I don't know. I don't know where he went to the hospital at. So I'm just going by what I heard.
Okay, well, we'll check that out.
I'm thinking, I thought maybe Detective Rosewarne said it was St. Joseph Hospital, or I think that's what he said last night. But I could be wrong.
Okay, I'll ask him.
I think that's what he said. But, I mean, you might want to check it out.
I'll ask him. When you, that night, when you got to the insurance agency, you found out Randy had been shot, who drove you around? Who took you away?
Aaron.
Aaron. And where did he take you?
Well, he just walked me.
He walked you away?
Walked me away. They made us move the cars, so my dad moved my car, and I think my mom moved her car away from the scene, and then that's where we went back.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a little media there that separates like 2 parking lots, so we were down in the lower parking lot area.
Okay.
Is where they had us go.
Okay. So you were kind of distraught. He kind of comforted you.
Yeah, he was the first one on the scene.
When you left, who'd you leave with?
The detective.
That night?
Mm-hmm.
When did you take your cell phone, another cell phone, and put it in the toilet?
Oh, when Mrs. Love took me to the bathroom.
Mrs. Love took you to the bathroom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And she's the one that took you down to the Enterprise?
Mm-hmm.
That's an odd place to go to the bathroom, isn't it?
There was no other place. That's just where she took me. I didn't tell her where to take me. That's just where she took me.
Wow. Enterprise leasing.
Mm-hmm. They were closed, but they let me in to go to the bathroom.
Right there down the street, 39th and Nolan?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you flushed the phone down the toilet?
Yeah.
I wish you hadn't done that.
I'm sorry. I wish I hadn't either.
And your reasoning for doing that was just what? Covering up for David?
I guess you could say that. Another stupid one of my mistakes, huh?
Bad choice. Bad decision.
I know.
You know, one thing that's curious though, it looks like David had been talking about this stuff, and talking about hurting people and hurting Kim and hurting Randy, and then once he got his hands on the gun, he just kind of went from 0 to 60.
It's like a different person.
Yeah, up until, a few months ago, it just been all talk. And then here, a month ago, even a few days ago, it became more than talk. It became an actual plan in the making. Plan in progress. He felt like putting it into action. What do you think spurred him on? What do you think made him cross that line? I know you said earlier that he called you and you...
I texted him.
Oh, texting. That's nothing, phone calls.
No, that's sorry.
So, and you texted him.
Because we were leaving.
Yeah. And that's what pushed him over the hump.
Yeah. He didn't want Randy to take me away.
Did you want to go
And
away?
I was ready to go away. I was more than ready. I'd had enough. I'd had it. I had made amends with Kim, and I was just ready to just...
Well, you'd only made amends with her as far as the things she knew about. You didn't tell her about it. You know, we're talking about being open and coming clean with everything.
Sure, yeah.
Like you said, you didn't tell Randy about, about all the things that had gone on.
I understand. I understand.
With the Kansas City officer and everything like that. And that's stuff you were just kind of glossing over and you didn't tell Kim.
Yeah,
And,
I know.
but I think you were expecting it just to get absolution, just to kind of be okay with it. Out of sight, out of mind. People don't know about it, can't hurt them.
Yeah. Kind of how our minds think sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. But isn't that odd though? Because we think God knows everything, God's going to judge us, but we're going to keep this stuff from people even though God knows we're keeping it from people. You see, you can't be fully in line with that when you're not in line
I understand.
with down here.
I understand, I know.
I know you know. See, this is stuff you've probably been taught, over the years. And you find yourself in a situation where you're living it out. And you should have been the student instead of the teacher.
I know.
So you see why I keep talking about the same things over and over again? Because I want to make sure that we're clear on all the facts.
I understand.
Don't know if you're going to get to talk to David. I'm not really sure if that's going to happen or not. Let us know. Have you made any other phone calls? Have you called anybody?
No, no one told me I could, so I didn't.
I think your phone's working in the cell.
I don't know how to use it.
Oh, okay.
No one showed me how to use it, so sorry. I don't know how to use it.
All right. Well, just ask one of them down there, and they'll help you out.
So I'm not going to get to go home tonight.
I don't know. Again, we'll have to.
What time is it, if you don't mind me asking?
It's 3:45.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
They asked me last night if I wanted to have my lawyer here, and I've never been in this situation before, so I don't know what is expected of me as far as that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do I need him here?
It's entirely up to you. Entirely up to you. You can make that call. I can't advise you either way, but it is your call. Whatever you want to do. If you need to.
I was sitting down there thinking about that, and I'm just asking God to help me make the right decision.
Sure. And I do appreciate you talking about the things that we talked
And
about.
I don't know.
And being open and forthcoming about a lot of things.
I just don't know. I've already made myself look bad.
Well, you know what? That started a long time ago. That process of unwinding started some time ago. Don't think you began to look bad just overnight. It's a slow fade. It's a process.
That's a Christian song.
What?
It's a slow fade. It's on my and my husband's favorite movie.
Is there what movie is that?
Fireproof.
No, don't tell me you saw Fireproof.
Oh, we have the movie.
Don't tell me you own Fireproof.
We watch it all the time.
Don't tell me you and Randy sat there and watched Fireproof.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And cried every time we watched it too.
Well, what was going through your head? Theresa? What was going on in your mind?
Mind is a crazy thing.
Crazy place, man.
And you know that. I know.
Well,
You don't think that I am ashamed of what I've done in my past? Are you kidding me? If I could do it all over again, I would change everything, and you know that.
I know you would. We just need to focus on making things better now.
And I'm trying to. I am. I am telling you everything that I know.
I can't believe you watched Fireproof. Theresa. I'll be right back with you.
Thanks.
That's
Makes
a
me
good
feel
thing.
bad.
That's a good thing. No, that's a good thing. I can't believe you watched Fireproof and then get convicted or broken by the things that you saw about the relationship and the meaning of the relationship and why it was, that's what surprised me.
And I did.
You were broken.
But do you know how hard it is when you are, and how long has our relationship been on? What, 10 years?
That's what you say.
And
What? What?
as many times as I have tried, and he just gets mad at me every time I try to break it
Who
off.
cares about what he feels, the way he thinks, or why he gets mad?
But he won't
Why
leave
is
me
that
alone.
important to you?
But he won't leave me alone. I don't care if he gets mad, and he got mad, but he just won't leave me alone. He wouldn't stop texting me. He wouldn't stop calling me.
You could have put an end to it. You could have told his wife, hey man, your husband, he's not who you think he is.
I know, and I should have. You're right. I should have.
You should have done a lot of things, Theresa.
I know that. I know that. You don't think I know that?
No, you do. I just have to say it. You know, idiot. You know what's going on. That's what makes it even more unbelievable. Because you're a smart woman.
Guess I wasn't as smart as I thought I was.
Yeah, you were. You just got outsmarted. Outwitted.
You know what I'm praying for?
What?
I was sitting there praying for you. You walked in. That he would just tell the truth. Just confess it.
Keep
He
praying
knows
that.
he did it.
Keep praying that. We need your prayers. He needs your prayers. You know how to pray. Theresa, I know you know how to pray. And you pray for forgiveness, and you pray for guidance, and you pray for wisdom in the past.
And I'm going to keep praying until
Don't stop praying.
Dear God, please help me, Lord. Please, dear Lord, that he needs to come. Please, Lord. You know he did it. He knows. Oh God, please. I'm asking you to forgive me for everything I've done in the past, Lord. I want to renew my life with you.
You okay? Come on, let's get you out of here.